Welcome to my sacred space. Everything that I have known as my truth, I've experienced firsthand. In fact, there's very little that I would represent as my truth had I not lived it in a way that it was tangible and in a way that it impacted me on many levels. To the degree and to the point where there's no denying it for myself. One of those experiences, and there are many, I'm so grateful for that, is when I worked at the metaphysical bookstore. I shared in a previous video how the divine timing aligned me to getting hired and working at a metaphysical bookstore, spiritual bookstore, and how I just walked in because my spirit guides told me to go there at that particular time, and I did, and I was hired on the spot. So working there was quite the education, if you will, not only in the books that surrounded me, but also in the experiences that transpired. As an example to you, the bookstore was not a large bookstore. Of course, being a bookstore, it comprised mostly of books, but it had other things, jewelry and incense and candles and I already said jewelry. So I had more jewelry. And so it was a very beautiful environment, and the knowledge, there were bookshelves throughout the store, and there are books on self-help, there are books on science, there are books on everything you could possibly imagine. And of course all those books were categorized on their own bookshelves from floor to ceiling, and the title above them. And so one of the experiences that really opened my eyes to not only how spirit works with us in our dream state, in our intuition, and in our conscious state, but also it opened my eyes to how spirit, our spirit guides, our spirit family, energy beings, can affect this physical dimension, which I didn't know to what extent at that point until I had these experiences. One of those experiences was I would open the store and I would close the store. I was the only employee at the time. And so at night I would realign all the books and make sure they're in alphabetical order and make sure they were all ready for the next day when I opened the store. And that store is no longer there at this time. So this particular day, it still makes me laugh. I remember closing the store. How many times can I say, open the store, close the store, open the store, close the store? I went in and in the morning, and I remember walking straight past all the books and all the beautiful illuminated objects in the store and going straight back to where the lights were and turning them on. That's the first thing I would do. And I remember as I walked down the center of all the books, feeling the energy presence of giggling, laughter, joyful laughter and giggling, maybe even a little mischievous. And I thought, I wonder what that is about. So when I got to the back of the store and I turned the light on and I walked back slowly to the front of the store, I remember looking at the bookshelves, and two in particular, and these were massive bookshelves, that the night before I left and everything was in order, and here I am in the morning and I'm looking at the self-help books, and all the books under that title are books on astrology, and I look at the astrology bookcase, if you will, and all those are self-help. So the books have been clearly switched, and at first I was a little startled, and then I realized, because I immediately heard the giggling and the laughter of the spirit beings of the store. So certain places can actually attract and be a place where spirit beings, angels, guides, the spirit of the store, etc., where spirit beings hang out, not just where humanity spends their time. And so this was the case with the store. This was kind of a hangout, if you will, because of the energy and its purity and its light. A lot of spirit beings gathered there. And so that was one of the ways I realized, and one of the times I realized, wow, spirit beings can really move matter. Bookcases of matter, which of course then I began to replace in the rightful place, and I communicated with the spirit guides or spirit beings of the store telepathically, and we all laughed about it, and I asked them to not do that again, which it didn't happen for a while, and then it happened again. Another experience that I had to live to believe, so to speak, was where I sat was behind a beautiful jewelry case, and there was music playing, and it was just a beautiful environment. And I sat on a stool, and in front of me was a cash register, or off to the right in front of me, and then some other beautiful things. There were jewelry cases and some beautiful things on the counter. And clearly it was open right in front of me where people could put their desired purchases down. And so one day it was getting, I think about, no, it was nearing to close, for the store to close. And so I had locked the door, and I was sitting behind the cash register when the cash register door opened, and the money just started flying out, like as if there was a fan behind somehow or underneath the cash register, and the money was just blowing past me, on me, over me. And I was so startled that I remember putting my hands up, and then hearing that laughing and that giggling, and there was clearly a mess everywhere. And then I just started laughing with them, and it was quite the experience to have, in recognition that again, spirit can move matter. Those aren't the only experiences I've had. I've had many, many more, which I will share with you throughout this divine dialogue. But in that particular space, there are fond memories that I have, along with meditating in the space. There was a meditation space in the bookstore, and visually seeing other individual spirit guides, and having them walk up to me, and literally me look up at them, and they give me a message that then I would give to the person to the left or to the right of me or across from me. So it was really an education of that which is unseen and that which is seen, as well as an education in the reading materials, etc. But with that said, today I stand here before you, letting you know that it is my truth that spirit not only moves matter, but what matters usually involves spirit. And that it's not just chaos or trauma, but it is also joy and laughter that spirit interacts with and deeply enjoys to participate in. And so I invite you to allow your spirit council to remind you what is joyful and what can be filled with laughter, and what can open your heart and move your mind into a place of freedom, in the ability to just enjoy the moment and look for the fullness in it and the beauty in it. Because at the same time that there can be trauma and negativity, there is light and beauty available to us as well. And so I invite you to seek that out. Thank you for joining my journey, and blessings.